pro-Palestinian protests in Canada, and now a Jewish journalist is arrested at a pro-Hamas rally in his own neighborhood that's in Toronto. Here's how it happened.
I think you're a coward also.
You can have your opinion.
You'll do what they say.
Stand over here.
It's the path of least resistance.
No, I'm trying to keep the peace.
No, you're not.
You're refusing to leave?
I'm refusing to leave.
Why?
Because I'm a Jew, I'm a citizen, and I'm your boss. And I don't leave because you say Jews aren't allowed.
Well, you know what?
On the street.
In the interest of keeping peace here and public safety, you're under arrest for breach of the peace. Take a minute.
Good.
Ezra Levant is the publisher of Rebel News. He joins us now. I saw this happening yesterday. I haven't heard from you directly as to how you saw it, but I sent a text around saying, what in the world is happening? So can you tell us, what was it like there at the moment in your own neighborhood?
Sure, it was a residential neighborhood, so there's no Israeli consulate or any political target there. They were going after Jews. So the Hamas activists came right in the heart of this residential neighborhood. They actually set up some grotesque display, sort of reenacting Yahya Sinwar, that's the Hamas leader. So I wanted to take a photograph of it because I'm with a news outlet. I went there very low key, didn't actually talk to anyone, just went to take a picture. Some of the pro-Hamas radicals recognized me and started shouting at me. That's fine. I believe in free speech, actually. But the police came up to me and said, you have to leave the public sidewalk now. You're not allowed to be here because these Hamas activists are disturbed by your presence. I said, well, that's just because I'm Jewish. I have the right to be here and do journalism. The cops said, your very presence here is offending these Hamas activists. Leave now or I'm going to arrest you. And I said, I'm not leaving. A Jew can walk on the streets. By the way, I think of myself as a Canadian first, and I was there as a journalist, but both the cops and Hamas said, Jews on this side of the street are an illegal disturbance. I was arrested, searched, handcuffed, and taken to jail. Now, they later released me without charge, but they've done this 5 times to one of our other journalists who, by the way, isn't even Jewish. He was just asking tough questions of the Hamas side. In Canada, the police take the path of least resistance, which is don't upset the Hamas mobs, crack down on anyone who points a camera at them or asks a tough question. I think Canada is going the way of some European countries. There is now a no-go zone if you're Jewish or a journalist.
It's incredible. That picture we showed was they basically had a protester dressed as Yahya Sinwar, who perpetrated the October 7th massacres. Of course, he eventually was killed by the IDF. I want to read to you from Justin Trudeau. This is a tweet that he put out in 2022 about threats against female non-white journalists. He said, the pattern of harassment of journalists is incredibly alarming and completely unacceptable. This type of behavior has no place in our society. No journalist should ever be threatened for doing their job, and yet you were.
Yeah, I mean, our little company, Rebel News, our motto is telling the other side of the story, and we're conservative leaning. Our reporters have been arrested for covering transgender athletes punching girls in rugby games. We've been arrested for asking tough questions of the Deputy Prime Minister. And yesterday I was arrested for not even asking questions, just trying to take a photo of what the left would call a hate crime. Now, I'm a pretty free speech absolutist myself. So I'm not saying arrest Hamas activists for saying mean things. I think that there's other ways to deal with these Hamas activists if they commit crimes and they're foreign nationals, deport them, whatever. But it was my journalism. You saw the cop. He said, your standing here is a crime. And I don't recognize Canada. We've never been quite as free as America, but we've been pretty good. Under Justin Trudeau, that's slipping away from us. Yeah,
well, it's not just happening there in Canada, but reading stories over the weekend from the UK and Western civilization. Better wake up. Thank you, Ezra, for being with us today. And glad you didn't have to stay there too long. Appreciate it.